Bienvenidos. Mi casa es su casa.
So the project name is Mi Casa, Su Casa, and it's about understanding peer accommodation services like Airbnb.
The very first idea is to understand what's going on in terms of how popular this service is in different parts of the world. And we used Mexico and Switzerland as two case studies.
Economía compartida hoy se refiere a una plataforma tecnológica en donde la gente es capaz de comunicarse con sus colegas o con sus pares, ¿no? Para intercambiar bienes o servicios, ¿no? Y toda la interacción se hace a través de la plataforma.
One of the main aspects is first impressions. What type of first impressions can you make from these kind of platforms?
No, the project is really about making a next step and putting that on a much bigger scale. And see how does that work when people take decisions where to stay? What are the dimensions or criteria people are using to make their decisions? And then also, is that different in Mexico than in Switzerland?
We need to use essentially several different methodological tools to try to give a holistic approach to this project.
We're interested in assessing how much raters can agree on certain dimensions.
What are the inferences? What are the impressions that people form? So what should we ask them about trustworthiness? Because I think that's very important. So I think that was one thing. And then the other thing was also the cultural difference, because it's a project between Switzerland and Mexico. So finally thinking about what could be the differences or the similarities.
¿Cómo estas dos visiones de lo que es la economía compartida, ¿no?, ocurren hoy en Guanajuato o en Suiza? ¿Cómo podemos nosotros caracterizar lo que es la economía compartida y cómo se está adaptando en lugares donde la economía compartida es tradicional?
So there is part of the work that is qualitative, that has to do with interviewing people in the field, whether hosts or users of the service. And this part is about largely doing interviews and understanding in a semi-structured way what people think or how the people use or have used the system in the past, what they think about it and so on.
Bueno, he utilizado una parecida que se llama crowdsourcing. Bueno, en realidad es una medida de alta, pero sé cómo funciona y me voy a dar de alta en Airbnb.
O sea, yo lo que busco es que tengan recomendaciones y referencias, fotografías bastantes, que tengan historial también las personas a las que les voy a pedir datos o que quiero, ¿no?, quedarme ahí con ellos. Y si son personas también van a querer, ¿no?, tener buena referencia mía.
Sí tengo oportunidad de encontrar una casa buena en Airbnb. Voy a usar Airbnb porque es más tiene más opciones.
I use it because I travel a lot with my work, so it was a good way for me to make some extra money when I'm not here.
Okay.
And also during my holiday, when I was traveling like for 3-4 weeks, I rented my apartment.
Then there's another element which is more quantitative, which has to do with essentially mining data from sites like the ones we are talking about, by which you can apply standard data mining, machine learning techniques to try to extract patterns that would allow you to make certain conclusions. The other important point is that the work is very multidisciplinary. So by design, the types of research questions we pose cannot only be addressed by technologists, but require of the interaction, sometimes very close work with other experts.
We live in a world where there's a lot of mobility and a lot of diversity, and we are exposed to different cultures. We travel a lot. There is, in the economic context, there's a lot of mergers. So people are constantly meeting new people that they have never met before.
And I think as an audience, it's always, I think it's interesting to ask yourself, how do you come up with some conclusions about people or about things? In order just to be a little bit more aware of how that happens.
Por un lado existe toda una tradición de economía compartida, por otro lado vienen estas nuevas tecnologías, entonces puedes tomar lo mejor de los dos mundos para que la gente se beneficie.